Okay, so I'm going to give a poem. I'm not a poet. I've written a poem because I knew that this nice evening was coming up about managerialism, what I call the cult of managerialism. Now, Andy's just talked about the purpose of education, and we're both former academics from Nottingham Trent University. And one thing that struck me some years ago at Nottingham Trent University is that there was a change. When the student fees increased and the students rioted, management changed in the university. Everything changed really. The students became customers, and we were looking in a forward-facing customer direction. New managers came in, many of whom were not senior academics, which we've been used to in the past. People came from other industries. Somebody came into senior management at Nottingham Trent University from pork farms. Okay, the fast food delivery outlet in Nottingham. The notion being, that's taught in universities now in management studies, you can manage a nuclear plant or a university or the post office or the health service, and you do get these individuals moving around within these organisations. But when you talk to people, professionals who actually deliver at the front line, the story is always the same. They're doing what they're doing, not because of their management, who are literally screwing everything up stupidly, but in spite of their management. Okay, so this is from the heart of what I'm talking about. And very recently on Twitter, I was following somebody who actually wrote this most profound statement. The purposes of education today is not to educate, it's to achieve high rankings in the league tables. This is absolutely true. You know, I've got a second family, and I've seen my earlier family through education. It's changed for my daughter, who's now 14, who goes to an academy where the teachers say, and my daughter comes home with a list, she's been counting the numbers up, going forward on our journey with these management buzz terms all the time. It's driving the kids absolutely nuts, but they are basically saying these terms in order to get promoted. They are actually measuring the children on things they've not been taught. So the kids come in, they do all these exams, and they fail all the exams, and they say, well, I wasn't taught it, never mind, just do the exam. It's so that the school can score higher on Ofsted by saying how much we've improved the children. So the kids feel like complete failures. The purpose of education was not to educate those children, it was to get higher up the rankings from Ofsted. The academy my daughter goes to is rated top because of the improvement. They're measuring stuff they know they haven't been taught. No kids taught this stuff. It's completely corrupt. So, that's the sort of background for one, and whether it's the health service, the post office, the police service, the fire service, I've talked to people across the board, they're all saying the same thing. So, I'm not angry. If you want a bit of background to this, if you've not actually experienced this yourself, then I recommend you watch W1A, the comedy series about the BBC, or Happy-ish, which few people know about, starring Steve Coogan, which is on Sky Comedy. It's the same theme. They're actually sort of aware of this and mocking it. Okay, so I thought I would take the sort of, as a child of the 60s, who read sort of these comics where they said, Charles Atlas, bodybuilding course, don't let anyone kick sand in your face, confuse your friends and impress your enemies, or was it the other way around? I thought I would sort of begin an intro to this as though it was a little advert in a Bazooka Joe comic, the bubble gum for those of you who don't know it, or in one of the children's superhero comics. Okay, so imagine you're reading a classified ad for something they're trying to sell you. So it's called a poem, Going Forward. Going forward. Are you tired of always being an incompetent, toxic letdown? Managerialism is the answer to all your career problems. Managerialism has trained millions of vacuous dullards, just like you, to reap vast rewards, spinning the success of others into failure. In this poem, I will teach you how. Once in employment, even on a lowly rung, tick your target boxes, buzzwords must be sung. Going forward starts or ends a sentence, every other four, to parrot the latest diktat with brown tongue. Points to score. On our journey going forward, staff chase targets, mostly shit. That's managerialism. There's not a lot to it. At pace, going forward, implement and manage change. Reimagine dog's bollocks of deprofessionalising mange. You see what I did there? Part 2. Oh, actually, it's not part 2. Part 2's up next. Mindfully going forward, manage annual reviews to preach what you can't manage, so reimagine targets out of reach. Part 2. Gets worse now. Going forward, mindfully at pace, to a forward-facing target, manage with disgrace. Going forward, be an idiot bot. Exterminate like a Dalek, manage like a clot. Going forward, with synergy, stab her back. Agile reassignment, give staff a heart attack. You're a gimp now, going forward. Implementing everything you're told. You're a pivoting, greedy fuckwit. Your soul-sucking souls sold.